Alright, I'm not going to change my top because even though I'm recording this video right after you saw the last video. And you know what? Why do I have to change my top? I'm being real right now. So I wanted to talk to you guys about some books that I have been loving. So in my last video, I told you guys about my CoHo books that I've been reading. Now, I've only had this Kindle for about 2-3 months, and I haven't read that many books, but I just have to talk about the books that I'm reading because let's start this conversation, and then maybe in a couple months I'll do a part 2 to this, what I'm loving now, and if it's changed, if it's different, whatnot. So obviously I started a physical book. That was a CoHo book, Reminders of Him. Oh my god, that book is freaking amazing. I feel like it just grabbed me from the beginning, and I was always wondering what was going to happen. I feel like that's a lot of CoHo books. You're grabbed and pulled and kind of just like held on because you want to know what happens, because they don't give you everything until the end, which is really, really good. I love that because it keeps you just yearning for more. And there was a lot of twists and turns, and I didn't know who I wanted to like or how it was gonna go, and hoping for a good ending but not knowing. And I would say so far that is probably my favorite CoHo book as of right now. I've only read 3, so nobody come for me. But it's just the dynamic of the two individuals and just figuring out what happened to the girl and why she doesn't have custody of her kid and why she went to jail and things like that. It just like, as the story progresses, it's so good. Once I finished that, I was kind of really gung-ho about, well, that's when after I got my Kindle, and I was really gung-ho about reading Verity. Now, I know a lot of people read Verity, and supposedly it's completely different from any of the books that she has written. So far, definitely. I feel like there's a little bit of not like difference because there's still that romance, there's still the tension, but to be more of a suspenseful book was definitely different, because obviously so far the books that I've read of hers are not suspenseful. They're just like dynamic and romantic and just like people being stubborn. But it has, the first page is just so crazy. Like I said, they always get you hooked, but it's very morbid, and even like as you keep reading it, it gets more and more morbid, and you don't know, which is crazy because Verity means truth, but you don't ever know the truth of anything. You don't know who you can trust, who to follow, who to like in this book. It's kind of crazy. And then as the things like unravel, I'm kind of like, oh, this is gonna happen, and then it did happen, and I was like, oh my god. You know, I'm gonna give you spoiler alerts for things because let's just dive into deep on these books. So with Verity, the beginning was different, and hearing about the tragedy of the man with his daughter, you didn't really know what was happening, and then to find out that both of his daughters had passed away within 6 months of each other seems kind of fishy. And then just as things progress and you don't know what's happening, and then you're like, is Verity really like not there? And then to have her actually be at the top of the stairs, and then to actually be all there in the end, it's just like, wait, why were you pretending that? But also the manuscript made you like not know if Verity was like telling the truth or not, because of that letter that she found in the floorboards, and trying to, but like, why would she put it there in the floorboards where nobody would find it? Makes no sense to me. But supposedly he had read her book already and knew about all this. See, but then at the end I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna push Verity aside and not think about her and say she was a crazy one and everything. But if any of you have read the special edition chapter, that I didn't like the special edition chapter because it ruined my feelings. It ruined all of that for me. Like, I was so ready to think Verity was crazy and all of this, but then this extra chapter made me be like, oh, Jeremy's the one that's crazy. Like, he's the crazy one, and he killed her for no reason, and she was trying to run away with her son. So I don't know. Yeah. The next CoHo book I read was Ugly Love. I think that was a cute book. I feel like there could have been more dynamic, especially for the girl. Even for the guy, but sorry, I don't remember names when I go into new books. I feel like there could have been more to their story. They could have been more dynamic to them, and it was just a lot of like romance over and over and over again, which I wish there was something like earth-shattering or something that would have happened between them, or like something. I was kind of getting sick of the romance parts. I was just kind of like, okay, we get it, you're just friends with benefits currently, and that's what's happening. But yeah, it was good. I did really like it, but I feel like it could have been more, and obviously it kept you going because of going back to Miles, his past, and like reading through what he had gone through and his life and how that unfolded, which I really liked, and not knowing until the end like what actually happened, and him feeling better about that. And so it was good. It was a good read, but it didn't like you know, but it was good. And then the book that I'm currently reading, let me see what the name of it is. It's not a CoHo book. I'm reading Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. Now, this one, I saw that it was almost 600 pages. It kind of was like, ooh, but I decided to read it anyways. So far, I like it. I feel like it doesn't have that pull that the CoHo books do, but I really still do like the storyline. I don't know if because I'm like, I want to read only CoHo books, that's why I'm kind of just like not as into it. But no, I really like it so far. I'm about halfway in, and the way it unfolds, the way it's moving, and the way the romance is going, I really like it. And I kind of do like that it's a longer book, because I feel like when you're at 300 and something pages, it has to stop at a certain point and maybe not always feel like it's finished. When this book, I feel like I'm at almost 300 pages and I feel like it's currently at that half point, and so another 300 pages, I feel like it will get me to the end that I'm looking for. Also, this book is a 3-part series, so I'm going to read that, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this book, stop, go back to a CoHo book, then once I'm done with the CoHo book, go back, because I feel like I need a break. I can't just continue on with the same characters and same book title. That interest needs to stay there unless my mind changes. But yeah, so those are the books that I'm reading right now. If you guys have any suggestions on books that kind of follow the trend of the books that I like reading right now, or any books that you have found fascinating that you think I would like to read, please put it down in the comments below. I would love to do a part 2 of this when I do read a bunch more books, talk about it, give some spoiler alerts and everything. But yeah, if you did like this video, subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.